Hello everyone, we English teachers took the baton of reading books, and today I would like to share a little bit with you about one of my favorite books, The Alchemist. The Alchemist was originally written in Portuguese by Paulo Coelho, a Brazilian author, and it has been translated into many languages. The Alchemist is an easy story with a deep message. It's a message to follow your heart and search for your dreams. And this story is about a young man named Santiago who lives in Spain and works as a shepherd. And he begins to have strange dreams and who goes to a gypsy to find out what they mean. The gypsy tells him that he needs to go to Egyptian pyramids to find his treasure. Of course, he doesn't believe her, but he meets another person who tells him the same things. At last, Santiago decides to give up his life as a shepherd and go to find his treasure. Santiago encounters many problems as he goes on his journey, and he meets many people and learns a lot along the way. He also learns to listen to and trust the soul of the world.
David Mason was an English writer. He wrote some hard-boiled and detective stories. Today, I want to tell you one of his stories, The Ballad of Billy Maggie. It's a famous detective story. The main character of the story is Billy. Billy was a young boy who lived in Santa Fe. Billy was born in a poor family. Billy's family lived in a bad condition. His parents weren't in love. That is why his father didn't stay with them. Billy's life was hard when he was young.
Alexander Milne was a great English writer. He had written thousands of books for children, but Winnie Pooh is the main character of his books, bring more popularity for him, but not for his son. I want to tell you about my favorite book by Christopher Milne. The name of book is Beyond the World of Pooh. Christopher Milne wrote a little about his childhood and his relationship with his father, and about fighting in the World War. He was very shy as a child and lived in the shadow of his famous toys. It was very difficult for him. The book is brilliant and very interesting. I advise you to read.
I try to show you some books. I have read them. I like them because they teach us to find solution in love. In our situation, I can find some. Әрбір оқыған кітабымның ішінде маған ең жақын дүние ақындардың әндері, әншілердің әндері, ақындардың өлеңдері болатын. Мұқағали Мақатаевтың маған әрбір шумағында жазылған аңызға берілгендей, қазіргі осы пандемияға лайықтап жазылғандай болып, түйілген өзіме қонған азайып бара жатыр өлең шумағын оқып беремін. Неменеңе жетістің, бала батыр, қариялар азайып бара жатыр, бірі мініп келместің кемесіне, бірі күтіп әнекей жағада тұр. Ақыл айтып жүрмесе қасымызда, сонда орнайды жетімдік басымызға, жалаңашқа шекпенін шешіп беріп, бір көшесін бөліскен ашымызға демекші. Әрбір жастарымыз ақындардың өлеңдерін оқып, әрбір сөзіне мән беріп, жаттап, әрбір сөзіне құлақ салса, ақынның сөзі арқылы, ақынның өзі де көз ілмесін дегендей, әрбір оқушыға, әрбір ұстазға менің ұсынарым ақындардың кітаптарымен сусындайық.
Reading is important because it develops our thoughts, gives us endless knowledge and lessons, while keeping our minds active. Books can hold and keep all kinds of information, stories, thoughts, and feelings unlike anything else in this world. The importance of a book to help us learn and understand things cannot be underestimated. That is why I want to recommend that you read this author's book. Jane Eyre, the novel by Charlotte Bronte. It was published in 1847 in England. It is Charlotte Bronte's the most famous book. Jane Eyre is a love story. The novel follows the story of Jane, a seemingly plain and simple girl, as she battles through life's struggles. Jane has many obstacles in her life: her cruel and abusive Aunt Reed, the grim conditions at the Lord School, her love for Rochester, and Rochester's marriage for better. It is very interesting story and exemplary novel, I think. This novel has taken a deep place in my heart.
Good day. I would like to tell you about reading in my life. Reading plays a very important role in the life of people. In my opinion, books are a source of emotional inspiration and romantic feelings. Also, books teach us what is right and what is wrong, to figure out the world and people in it. One of my favorite books is The Code Da Vinci by Dan Brown. Dan Brown is my new must-read. The Code Da Vinci is fascinating and absorbing, perfect for history buffs, conspiracy nuts, puzzle lovers, and anyone appreciates a great riveting story. I love this book incredibly, and I recommend you to read this book.
Good day, dear colleagues. I want to share with you my impressions of the book I read. The book is called Creative Personal Branding by Jürgen Sollenbacher. This book will help us develop creative thinking and create our own personal brand. We can learn how to awake our creativity to come up with business ideas. Jürgen Sollenbacher, himself a well-known business coach in the field of branding and personal growth. This book is an invaluable resource for professional growth. It is worth reading to everyone to whom it is important to develop, to be competitive and to be able to position themselves in the new economic conditions. Добрый день, уважаемые коллеги! Хочу с вами поделиться впечатлениями от прочитанной книги. Книга называется «Создать свой личный бренд». Jürgen Sollenbacher. Эта книга поможет нам развивать свое творческое мышление, и мы можем узнать, как разбудить свои творческие способности, чтобы придумывать разные бизнес-идеи в любой сфере. И сам Jürgen Sollenbacher, он известный бизнес-коуч в области брендинга и личностного роста. Эта книга – бесценный ресурс профессионального роста. Ее стоит прочитать всем, кому важно развиваться и быть конкурентоспособным, и умение позиционировать себя в новых экономических условиях. Спасибо за внимание.
This book is a history of many centuries of human thought and life. William Collins, an English writer, he is a master of detective romantic literature. The White Woman's novel is made of many has a sharp, interesting plot about the crime. I recommend reading this book. I have read this book online. Кітап адамзаттың сан ғасырлық ой-пікірі мен өмірінің тарихы. Wilkie Collins, ағылшын жазушысы, шығармаларында детектив және романтикалыққа шебер. Ақ түсті әйел романының ақша үшін жасалған және жасалған қылмыс туралы өткір қызықты сюжет. осы кітапты оқуға кеңес беремін. Бұл кітапты ғаламтордан оқыдым.
Саламатсыздар ма, құрметті әріптестер. Жалпы қазақ әдебиетінде болсын, шетелдік әдебиеттерде болсын ұсынатын жақсы кітаптар көп. Бірақ соның ішінде мен ұсынатын кітабым бұл қазақ прозасында күллі әдеби классиканың шырқау шыңына жеткен қазақтың ұлы жазушысы Мұхтар Әуезовтің 4 томнан тұратын Абай жолы романы. Бұл Абай жолы романы туралы бүкіл шетелдіктер танып білді. Енді француз жазушысының айтқан сөзі бар екен, Абай жолының 4 кітабын оқу арқылы қазақтың қандай екенін білуге болады деген. Бұл жазушы Луи Арагон. Енді мен сіздерге ұсынамын Абай жолын оқуға. Бұл қай жастағы адам болсын, барлығына тәлім тәрбиелік, білімі өте мол. Сіздерге ұсынамын оқуға.
Today I'd like to give you a brief summary of the collection of Agatha Christie. First of all, Agatha Christie was a mystery writer who was one of the world's top-selling authors with the works like Tales of Mystery, as will be discussed. Poirot, a main character, tells a tale of how he gained shares in a Burmese mine, but unsurprisingly it started with the murder cases. This was first published as a book in a UK version of the collection, Poirot Investigates 1925, and wouldn't appear in the UK collection until Poirot's First Cases, 1974. The story was adapted for the TV series Agatha Christie's Poirot in 1990 and starred David Suchet in the title role. Hope it was useful to someone as it was for me.
Reading books can reduce stress, no matter how much stress you have at work or countless other issues faced in daily life. It all just slips away when you lose yourself in great story. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes is a compilation of 12 short Sherlock Holmes stories that was published on October 31st in 1892 and written by Arthur Conan Doyle. Sherlock Holmes stories are well-known and beloved fictional detective in our literature. It's interesting to note that Arthur Conan Doyle actually modeled his famous detective after an associate, Dr. Joseph Bell, and I highly recommend to all fans of detective novels.
Кітап оқуға құштар мектеп жобасы аясындағы кітап оқу челленджін Тарих бірлестігіне жолдаймыз.